Hey, good morning, happy gardeners. This is Ed from The First Time Gardener, and we are here today. I'm going to do a little video on pulling our sweet potatoes up. And if you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you guys. Appreciate you viewing, and hopefully you'll see some content worth your time here, and hopefully that you'll give us a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to the channel after you visited. So we do appreciate that, and all of our subscribers that have already subscribed, thank you very much. I appreciate that, and welcome back. So this morning we're here in Central Florida, for those of you that don't know, and it is November 4th, 2025, and the last week or so we've had some nice cool weather. So our broccoli and brassicas and all that stuff is finally starting to do good. I've had a rough start this fall with bugs and grasshoppers and things like that, because the weather has been so hot and so warm into the fall season that they just ate everything up that I was growing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick tour of the garden right now, and then our main focus of this video is sweet potatoes. Now on the sweet potatoes, I had a little area over there that was maybe one or two small little sweet potatoes that were left over that I didn't dig up last year and missed the roots, and they started growing two little shoots, and I let them grow. So what you're going to see today is what they have grown into from just those two little seeds. And it's about time to pull them up, because I have some other interests I want to do in this little area, and we're not big sweet potato eaters anyway, so whatever yield we get out will last us several months, so I'm not too concerned about that. But anyway, I wanted to bring you along, show you the bed, and show you the harvest that we get from just not doing anything. Basically just having a sprout come up from where we grew sweet potatoes last season, and show you what kind of yield we get out of it. All right, so without further ado, let's take a quick tour of the garden, and then we're going to go harvest those potatoes. So here are my beets, and there's a previous video out where I showed you how to plant those beets. And after we planted those beets, we got a torrential downpour rain, which took all this soil and just moved it on down over here. So there are some beets that might be popping up other areas, but anyway, I re-raked the area. Those are the ones that came up, and you can't see too good yet because I planted some more. And you can see right here, that one, that one, that one. I have a long line of beets. I have another line going here of beets that are going to be coming up, so hopefully we'll have a consistent yield of beets. So anyway, those are our beets, and they're doing really well right now since the cool weather has come around. Carrots, I had a little struggle this year getting the starts going. These bigger ones here are from the ones that did survive when I first planted them, which are only a few. But you can see right here that I've got quite a few of those coming back. On my second seeding, they're starting to come up. So, and then this little section that's over here, I'm going to probably next week I'm going to till that up, weed it, and put some more carrot seeds in there so that we have a continuous round. They don't all come due at once. So here's my garden that had the toughest spot, was my brassicas, and they're finally starting to do. Like, I had all cabbage planted here, so I have a couple cabbage, I think 4 total, and I've replanted some others, and I have some seed. I have some seed trays that are planted with some more cabbage and broccoli that are on my back porch. So I'm hoping to get those to a good size and put those in, which will, come later after these are harvested. I'll have some more behind it. And the only thing that really did good, and the bugs for some reason didn't bother too much, is this right here, which is bok choy. And it has done pretty well. You can see I got some nice signs. This is the first time I've grown this too, so we've ate on it once already. We're gonna probably do another dinner here this week with them, and then I've given some away to my friends. So anyway, they did really well. This is some new broccoli coming up that I have coming. And here's my struggling broccoli that is finally looking good. The bugs quit eating it, and the cool weather has really helped them strive. So I'm hoping we don't see any heads yet coming up there. It's a little too early, too young for them yet to sprout their main heads, but they're coming along really well. So anyway, that's a pretty quick tour of the garden. I have a couple of things over here growing. Now I planted some green beans probably 2 months ago, only 2, and I've been getting well, I've just picked them this morning, so there's not a whole lot on here, but you can see they're coming really well. And just these 2 plants have produced several bags of green beans that I've put in the freezer. Over there, here you got a bunch of little ones coming on there. There you go. Here's some more coming. And then this is my second plant that I have. So they're, if the weather stays chilly like it has been, they're going to slow down some. And then over here, which we're going to get into in a minute, that's my sweet potatoes there. But I planted some bell peppers. I think they're yellow bell peppers. They're just seeds I had from last year from the bell peppers I grew. They were kind of all mixed up together. So I planted them, I got starts, and I just transplanted them here. I don't know how well they're going to do with the cold weather coming into effect, but I've never tried it in fall, so I figured just put them in and see what happens. This one here already is getting little blooms on there, getting ready to put some peppers on. So if it doesn't get too cold, I'll probably get a little bit of harvest out of it. All right, so this is where my sweet potatoes are. Now, the oldest ones, these are about 90 to 120 days old that they've been growing. Right here in the corner, I had 2 little shoots come up right there that I just let go. And all the growth that you see over here is just from those 2 little shoots that came up. So, like I said, they've been in 90 to 120 days. I really didn't count them because I wasn't really, I didn't care what came up. But they're ready, and I think we're going to get maybe a dozen good-sized potatoes, maybe. We'll see. So anyway, I'm going to bring you along for the harvest, show you what we got. So let me get set up for the camera, and then we're going to come back here and dig these things up and see what we got. Stay tuned, don't go nowhere. All right, guys, so I'm standing in here. What we're going to do is I have a little 4-prong rake, and I also have a potato rake that I'm going to use to pull them up. So what I want to do first is I want to try to clear out some of these vines, growing vines, so that we can get to the ground. So there's another thing too. These younger shoots that are coming up, these leaves here, they're edible as well. If you wanted to harvest the young leaves, you can saute them up in a pan like you do spinach. They got kind of an odd taste to them. I don't really prefer myself eating them, but if you guys like to take advantage and have as much food as you can from what you're growing, that's another possibility. And then what I'm going to do with all these that I cut off is I have a little corner over here I'm trying to build up, trying to make that my melon corner. So I'm trying to put some organic matter down in there to finally, you know, get rot in that corner, so to speak. And then once it gets a good base with all the rotting organic matter, I'm going to go ahead and put soil over it, because I want to build it up about 8 to 10 inches deep. So that's going to be a base for hopefully this coming summer melons. I'm going to try growing a few melons, like cantaloupe and some other stuff, see how well it does for me. Okay, we're going to get to cutting these vines out here so we can see the dirt, and then we're going to start digging up and see what we get. Wow. I just pulled the, look at that sucker. I just pulled the vine up and that's what came up. That's a big potato. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, here's another one. Hopefully they're not all going to be like this. It's got a bunch of mealyworm holes in there. That big one, the first one, didn't have any, but we'll have to see. I'm sure some of those are going to have them. Here's another one pulled up. Here's another one. And these are all from vines that grew from the one thing. That wasn't even one of the plants that was started from. And just FYI for you newcomers, these are a summer crop. You know, you grow them in the summer. They don't do well in the cold. But like I said, the extended heat wave that we've had for the summer, they've done really well. So if you let them go on further, you know, they're going to end up, they're all going to start dying. The leaves will die back, whatever. So that's a good indication then to know that it's ready to harvest. And if you wanted to, you could let these things, you could do harvest half of this and let the other one go, the other half go, and still grow some if it would be. There's another nice one. So when you're talking about something was left over, something this small or even smaller was what was left in the ground that I missed, that all this stuff here grew from. Very small little potato. And I'm going to explain to, once we get these up, you can eat these right now, but they're not going to taste very good because they have to cure. These are going to be really starchy right now if you were to cook them and eat them. Now there's another one. It's got some pits and holes in it from worms or something that started eating it. It's another one. See, and as the vines grow along the ground and they root, when they root, they start these little potatoes, and you usually get a bunch of these compared to the big ones when they're just vines growing on the ground, but they're edible. And just so you newcomers know, if you're going to plant sweet potatoes in an area, just know that they send out thousands of roots, and you're never going to get all the roots up. So this is what's going to happen year after year. You're going to have sprouts just sprouting through, and if you don't want them there, you just pull the sprouts out when they're little. That's what I did last year until this year I decided I'll grow some more, because we're out of sweet potatoes. So whatever we get out of here today will last us as much as we eat potatoes. Now, when you're talking about red skin and russets, we eat a lot more of those, so I would be happy to grow more of those than the sweet potatoes. All right, so we got some of these vines done, so let's start kind of digging deeper with our pitchfork, or a potato fork, I should say. We're just going to start. This is the corner that originally it started from, so we'll see what comes up here. Now look at these. These are long, leggy roots that started, but they didn't really produce. I call them a potato root instead of a ball. You got one little one here. Not much there. Now here's another one. Oh, there's a nice, decent size for us. That's the size that we like. It's just enough for dinner without being too much for us. And these are the ones, the vines. All those little ones you want to try to get out if you don't want sweet potatoes growing. Try to dig as many of those out as you can, because they will keep growing. And if they stop because of the cold weather now, they will take over next season when it starts to warm up in the summertime. They'll be growing again. Well, there's a big one. That's probably one that started it all, but it's all jacked up and got like all bug stuff in there. So we're only going to eat the nice ones, keep the nicer ones, because this is all basically all for free. I didn't buy anything. It's all leftover stuff. There's another one. Whoa. Look at that sucker. That is a big one. That's the biggest potato in my garden that I've gotten of sweet potatoes yet. Thing's about 2 pounds. Feels like it anyway. Another little one. Here's another almost a nice size one. We like them just a little bigger than that for Peggy and I, just to have one each. This ground's going to be, it's nice and fluffy and aerated, and it'll be a good spot to grow some more carrots. Oh, here's a nice one I missed there. See, now that's a good size one. That's perfect, like for dinner for Peggy and I. Oh, here's another one. Now I skinned this with a fork, and it's got a couple bug holes in it. So if it was a good potato and you skinned it like this, when your drying process, curing process, you could just leave it. It'd be perfectly fine to eat. But it's got some bug holes in there, so I'm going to just toss that one. And when you're doing this, if you don't want the potatoes back, just grab as many roots as you can. And I'm telling you, there's thousands of them, so you ain't going to get them all, that's for sure. But get all you can. It'll help it from going crazy with potatoes. Yeah, there's another one come from a vine. Let's see. Nice little one. Ooh. I stabbed that one. That one doesn't look like it did well growing, just by the texture and the color inside, so I'm not going to keep that one. Oh, shoot. Well, that was a good one. We'll save it dry out, and we'll just cut the bad part off of it later. All right, guys, I'm going to continue doing this here. I think you got the idea and the gist of it, what it does. Now, if you want to, if you're a family that loves sweet potatoes and you want to grow a lot of sweet potatoes, what I suggest you do is you get a sweet potato like this, and you can, after it cures, you can bury this halfway in dirt, and you'll get a lot of vines that start, you know, just like a regular potato has eyes and it starts growing from the eyes. You get a bunch of those, and they're called slips. And you can break off each one of those slips and plant the slips, and then each one of those will grow as a plant. Maybe you get 4 or 5 potatoes out of each slip you go. So if you want a large amount of potatoes, and that's your journey, is to grow a lot of them for your family, that's the best way to grow them. For me, I just plant the smaller potatoes. Whatever comes out of them is enough for us. Like right now, what I have, that's going to last us several months. But yeah, if you're into sweet potatoes and you like sweet potatoes and you're going to grow them to make sweet potato pie and all that, going with a slips is your best option to get an abundance of sweet potatoes. There's another one. Now these little ones, you can cure them and put them in a pan, chop them up, put them in a pan for you know, frying in a pan potatoes. Well guys, that looks about it for this harvest. I'm going to come dig around a little bit more, but here's what we got. Not too bad for not doing anything to it. Didn't plan anything for it. So yeah, we got several meals there, and I'll cure them and we'll have some for Thanksgiving. Anyway guys, thanks for coming along. For anybody that's gardening for the first time, hopefully you picked up a couple hints of this here. And yeah, if you want to grow your sweet potatoes, definitely start them in spring, early spring. You let them go through, they love the heat, so it's a good summer crop to grow. We're in Florida here where we're at. There's a lot of things that struggle between the bugs and the heat to grow here in Florida, but sweet potatoes is one of them. They're easy, just throw a potato in and let it go. One of the easiest things to grow here in Florida anyway. So anyway, if you like this, please give me a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. I want to thank you for the time you spent watching my videos. And if you like the content you're seeing, share it with some friends. And also, it'd be a great time if you would subscribe to the channel. We're still growing the channel, and we'd like to have you as part of our Grow family. So anyway, leave any comments you want to. Be happy to. I love when people leave comments and read them, and I respond to all of them. So if you have any questions, ideas, suggestions, yeah, leave them in the comments. Be glad to hear from you. So until we see you next time on the next video, take care, God bless, happy gardening. See you on the next one. Thanks a lot.